8, 9 guys, and those guys could forge out something for you. But they're not there yet. They're not there yet. So you can't give away plays with personnel, and I think that's what everybody's seen a little too much of. And they always say everybody does their own self-scouting. If they're self-scouting themselves, I mean, that has to be fairly obvious. But I would like to see them stay aggressive with their play calling.
Corey Curtis, News 2 on a Fireball Hot Take Friday. What's your hot take this week?
You know what? I could go off on Tua. That's not really hot at all. I could go off on the Colts, but I've done that a gajillion million times before. So I'm just going to say this. Jeffrey Simmons or Danico Autry, one of these guys is going to leave this game with 2+ sacks. One of these guys is going to leave this game with 2+ sacks, and they're going to be the difference.
That's not what Frank Reich said. Frank Reich said he's confident that they will be able to block for Matt Ryan.
Well, you know what? Quentin Nelson can only block one of them, and that's what I'm looking for all day. Who is lining up over Pinter and Kelly? Because both of those guys have been absolutely dreadful this season.
Don't leave out Matt Pryor.
Well, but he's the left tackle. These are interior guys that I think that they can line up inside and take advantage of.
There you go. Corey Curtis, News 2, as always. Corey, great stuff. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, enjoy the game.
Yep, Corey Curtis joining us on the program. And I agree with Corey. I think the Titans are going to get pressure on Matt Ryan. And the more I've talked about that, I did not wake up this morning thinking that I was going to spend 2.5 hours talking about how bad the Colts stink. But just the more I've dug into it, the more I just don't have a lot of respect for Indianapolis.
Does it feel a little cathartic?
No, it feels like I'm setting myself up for a lot of people to be mad at me for being like, I thought you said the Colts aren't very good.
Well, if the Titans lose to a Colts team that is not very good, then I think we know what the Titans are.
I would agree.
Not very good.
So Todd Downing yesterday said he's ignoring the noise. But is he actually, or are we going to see the changes that I think need to be made on Sunday? And I am praying that we do. Catch the Eddie George Show featuring Jonathan Hutton on 102.5, 106.3. The Game this Monday at 6, live from 6 in Peabody. The Eddie George Show is brought to you by Low T Centers. Caroline, tell us about the Caesars Sportsbook app.
It is time for the Caesars Sportsbook Report. It's my favorite sportsbook. And first things first, your first bet with Caesars Sportsbook, it's on Caesars. Up to $1,250, they have got you covered. Just download the app and use the promo code RADIOFULL, one word, RADIOFULL, and then place your first bet. If you win, then congratulations. Go have fun with that money. But if not, don't worry about it because you'll get that stake back as a free bet. Now, our game of the week is Alabama at Arkansas. I'm going to take the Razorbacks plus 17, but if you are feeling a little bit of an upset brewing, you can take Arkansas on the money line on the Caesars Sportsbook app with plus 495 odds. Open to new users in Tennessee who are 21 or older. If qualifying bet loses, bet amount returned as a credit. Most used within 14 days. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. Caesars Sportsbook. You bet, you get.
ESPN Titans NFL Nation reporter Teron Davenport brings knowledge.
3 touchdowns. He was processing, getting rid of the ball quickly.
Passion.
Make no mistake about it. He absolutely has to hit the ground running.
And expertise on the two-tone blue and the NFL. Join TD every Monday at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Friday morning at 8 for all the latest on your favorite team. Teron Davenport is presented by Craneworks on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Ford South. The weather's starting to get cooler, and you know what that means. It's time for football. I don't know about you, but I've been waiting all year for this. Did you know that the most overtimes ever played in a football game is 7? That's almost 3 full games. It's crazy. I can't imagine sitting there for that long. Here at Newton, we know your time is valuable, especially during football season. We have ways to keep you cheering for your team without sitting and waiting. If your car needs some work, you can schedule online anytime. You can drop your car off at your convenience, and we'll update you when it's ready. On top of that, if you're shopping for a new car, we have Newton Fast Pass. It's the fast and easy way to shop from home. You can walk through the entire process from your couch. We can even deliver the car to your home. So no more missing games. Watch them all. Visit NewtonFordSouth.com to start shopping or schedule your service today.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the...
Isn't it 1.5%?
Now it's up to 1.75%.
That's bigger!
And better! I bought these scones with my cash back!
I love scones!
Me too! Scones for everyone!
When you sign up for direct deposit, you can earn up to 1.75% cash back with the Cash Rewards Card. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
When you download the Home Depot app, taking on big or small projects starts with a tap. It's your pocket-sized toolbox for getting more done. Image search helps you find what you need with a snap. Store mode pinpoints exactly where to go to get what you want while you're at our store. Or just tap to arrange for easy curbside pickup, all from the palm of your hand. It's the app that's made for doing. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Jonathan Hutton.
You have to put the ball in his hands in that moment.
And Chad Withrow.
My kicker's making no decisions on a football team.
Are in the game. Join them for NFL postgame after every Titans home game. Live from Landshark Bar and Grill in Margaritaville on Broadway. They'll break down that day's game and look ahead to the next one. NFL postgame is presented by Two Rivers Ford, Renter's Warehouse, and Superbook Sports on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, this is Gary Bettman. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
I don't know if you follow like all the things being said about the team, but as soon as there's a struggle offensively, they say fire Todd Downing. When you're getting blamed for everything, like how do you handle that and just continue to keep your head down and do what you have to do?
Yeah, I will tell you very bluntly, I can't pay attention to all the stuff that's going on out there and all the opinions about me. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect the fact that people have jobs to do and people to find to place blame on and all that. I know that I'm responsible for the offense. I know that there are certain things that come with this role, responsibilities, critiques, and kind of constant evaluation that comes with this role, but I can't afford to let somebody else's opinion cloud what Coach Vrabel thinks of the job I'm doing or what John Robinson thinks of the job I'm doing or, frankly, what the players in the locker room think of the job I'm doing. I owe it to them to give my best. And in that process, I really try hard to maintain my identity. I work my tail off, and I do it for a bigger audience than trying to get the praise of man. I don't really do this job to be celebrated in the media. I do this job so that I can be the man I'm called to be in the role that I have, and hopefully I can continue to improve in that at every turn and help get this offense where we want it to be.
There you go. That was Todd Downing. That was his way of saying you guys can criticize all you want, but I don't hear it. La, 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 la. I can't hear it. I'm not supposed to hear it. I've got to do my job. I got to put my head down, and I got to write and get ready and do my reports and get the offense going and everything else. Do you think that Todd Downing hears the noise?
Yes.
Do you think that Todd Downing is going to change?
No.
So,
but also,
if
he does hear the noise and he doesn't change, I have to respect that, because if your coach starts to make changes based off of what the fans say, isn't that a pretty bad sign?
Yes. But here's the problem, is that I got two thoughts on this. First off, Todd Downing has to change. The offense is not good enough. It's not good enough. They are 26th in the NFL. So this is the way I view it, is the fans, the frustration is bubbling up, and he knows it, and Vrabel knows it, and Robinson knows it, and honestly, they probably know that it comes from this show. If I had to guess, I think they would probably know that, yeah, they're talking about Todd today, and they said this, that, or the other. But it's going to be totally different if Todd Downing blows the game to the Colts. It's going to reach a whole nother level if the Titans go out there and drop 20 points to start the first half and then don't score in the second half or end up kicking a field goal and they lose, 27-23 it's going to ratchet itself up to an entirely different level. That being said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And so I do think Todd Downing's going to have to change something. I don't know how to critique the play calling, in all seriousness. Now, I can look at a play and say, look, they figured it out by the 9th play of the game. They were onto your screens. What are you doing trying to set up a screen for Jeff Swaim in the 4-minute offense? But then they could say, well, you don't know this play. The way that that's supposed to work is what they're really trying to do is they're trying to set it up for Westbrook-Akine, but the defender makes a good play, and then the offensive guy, and then they don't call the hold on the DB, and then whatever. There's always excuses to be made. But where I sit is right now Cody Hollister is playing 23% of the snaps this team has on offense, and that can't continue. The one thing that I am truly feel fair in the criticism of is the personnel groupings. And that has to change for me. Again, is it like when he was asked yesterday by TD about why they've struggled in the second half? And he's like, well, it's a guy with a play here or there, or hoop falls down, and so we don't get a first down and all that. What, again, I consider to be blame the players. While that might be true, the reality is it's not Cody Hollister's fault that Cody Hollister's playing 23% of the time. Because right now, he is on the field for 23% of their offensive snaps this season. The 5th receiver is on the field for 23% of the snaps. And if I see freaking Hollister and Carter and Swaim all run out there and the Titans get no yards on the ground against a team that is really good in terms of yards per rush. Now, they're not great in yards per pass. But if I see that on Sunday, I'm going to lose my mind. And I got to think Downing's going to change that. I got to think he's going to say, you know what? Robert Woods has to play more. That Treylon Burks has to play more. That Austin Hooper, who is currently the backup tight end, will play like the starting tight end. And even though if they break a run with Derrick Henry, I'm starting to rule out certain things. The reason why I think Hollister plays is because they don't think that Woods or Burks can block all the way down the field. So because they don't think that they can block all the way down the field like Corey Davis used to, what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to see if Hollister can block it all the way down the field. The problem is they can't get all the way down the field when the defense knows that they're running the ball and they stack the box because they're not afraid that they're going to throw the ball with Cody Hollister.
Well, and Todd Downing is the one, and Vrabel is too. They both put blame on the players, whether it be execution.
Sure.
And Mike Vrabel blamed the interception, and it was the first thing he mentioned when he was asked about some of the mistakes against the Raiders. So if Todd Downing is placing the blame on the players, placing the blame on the execution, then don't you think he would look at it and say, maybe I should change up the players? Because he might not think that he is the problem, but if he thinks that the players are the problem, if he thinks that Cody Hollister is the problem, then why does he continue to use the same personnel packages?
I don't know. That is the one thing that I feel completely fair in criticizing. I'll pick one of these bad calls that I wrote down that I said was a bad call and decide, was it fair to criticize this or was it fair to not criticize, the Tannehill throw, the interception. I said it was a bad call because Tannehill did not have something safe on a 3rd and long where both pass rushers beat both tackles, which we expected them for the Raiders to do. Is it a bad call? I think it is, but that's one of those, what do I know? Like, what? I mean, what do I know? Did the guy run the right? Whatever. But I know that putting Cody Hollister out there on first down of that series to start the second half, to run out there on the first play of the Titans' first play of the second half offensively, to run out Kevin Rader, Jeff Swaim, Cody Hollister, Torrey Carter, and Derrick Henry, that's bad. And it's got to stop. That is the one thing that I feel so comfortable in saying is the personnel packages have to stop with the putting bad players on the field. I keep likening this to a couple years ago when the Predators kept putting bad defensemen on the ice in the Carolina series, And remember how everybody was like, Jared, you don't understand why they're benching Dante Fabro for Ben Harper. It's because he's a right shot instead of a left shot. Did you see who was playing with Yossi yesterday?
Dante Fabro?
No, Ekholm was playing with Yossi yesterday. Those two could never play together because it's left shot, right shot, right shot. Could never do that. Oh, but now they can do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like Jared, you don't understand. And then watch. That when all I know is when Traylon Burks is on the field, they run the ball better. Why? Couldn't tell you. But I know that with Cody Hollister on the field, Derrick Henry had 8 carries for 1.9 yards a crack against the Raiders. And with Cody Hollister off the field, Derrick Henry had 12 for 75, 6.25 yards a crack. So you tell me, everybody out there.
But it's the execution.
They just keep putting him 23% of the time. Is there a 5th wide receiver in the NFL that plays a quarter of the team's offensive snaps over the course of the first 3 games?
There shouldn't be.
Preposterous. We'll get to your phones on this. 615-737-1025. And if Todd Downing screws this game up, and I'm sure there will be excuses out there if he does, because there's always a way around blaming the coach. Like, there's always an excuse for the coach. But if Todd Downing screws this one up, I'm not sure Titan fans are ever going to let it. I think they'll just start jumping him, and they'll just shove it right down Vrabel. They'll be so mad about that. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Let me tell you about FanDuel Sportsbook. That's my official sportsbook app. One of the things I love that you can bet on the NFL is that you can always find new player props or game props that you like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with other props from the same game to score an even bigger payout, perfect for Sunday's game. What I would do, I'm going to go over on the passing yards with Ryan Tannehill. The Indianapolis Colts are 22nd in the league in yards per pass attempt. So I think the Colts are going to sell out to stop Derrick Henry, and I think Ryan Tannehill is going to be able to throw the ball. I'm going to go over on sacks. And I think Derrick Henry is going to get into the end zone. So, again, FanDuel, it's easy to use. They've got live betting, and you get fast withdrawals. So when you win, FanDuel will pay you your winnings quickly. There's no feeling like nailing a same-game parlay, so lock it in today on FanDuel. And right now, new customers get up to $1,000 back in free bets if your first bet doesn't win with the promo code JGM. That's promo code JGM. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt, and restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Let's put the green flag in the air and turn them loose.
Nashville's home for NASCAR.
He's going to try to make a big move here.
It's brought to you by the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We are your racing station.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. Forecast for us today a little bit warmer than yesterday, mid to upper 70s. Still low humidity, plenty of sunshine. There will be a few isolated rain showers though for Saturday and early into your Sunday morning.
Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face truck today.
October is coming, and hockey season is back in Smashville. The 2022-23 Pred season brings energy, excitement, and the loudest fans in hockey. But the question is, are you ready? Be there for the home opener on October 13th to cheer on your Predators as they face the Dallas Stars at Bridgestone Arena. Tickets available now at NashvillePredators.com/tickets. Get your tickets and mark your calendar. Welcome back, Smashville. Let's go, Preds.
Genesis is actually a new beginning.
Genesis Diamonds owner Boaz Ramon talking about why it's called Genesis.
I love the symbolism of the name. It's a new beginning.
Boaz wanted the name of his company to mean something, to reflect his core values and the importance of starting relationships for people in love, as well as the relationship he wants with each and every customer.
It's a new beginning in their life for the relationship between us, the jeweler, the Genesis Diamond, and the customer, and it should last forever. Everything we do is for the customer.
Walk into Genesis and you can feel it. Genuine people who are solely focused on celebrating the best moments of your life.
It's not only my passion, it's my culture. Genesis is the book where God created the world, the day and night, the man and the woman. Every diamond engagement ring that we specially created for the customer is a new beginning for amazing, lasting relationship.
Come start your amazing lasting relationship today at Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Golfers, now in Edwin Watts Golf Shops, it's time to hit faster, longer, and straighter with Titleist. The new TSR drivers are designed to maximize distance and elevate your performance. Titleist TSR driver, pushing for perfection every day. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the new Titleist TSR drivers and get custom fit for free today. Can't make it in store? Visit us online at worldwidegolfshops.com. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee and family owned and operated since 1968.
Chase McCabe.
The best way to figure that out is to watch Twitter.
Willie Donick.
Trying to move down the field for the winning field goal.
And Derek Mason.
I'm putting in my hours and I'm out of here.
Chase, Willie, and D-Mace. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to Stillman and Company.
Presented by TriStar Moving.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app.
Mike, what has Jeff Swaim done to earn the role on offense that he has? He led the tight ends in snaps yesterday.
Yeah, he's the best blocking tight end that we have.
How terrible of a question. How dare you ask me that question, Ben Arthur? I got a doozy of a stat.
There's the best blocking tight end we have.
For the best blocking tight end. What did I say yesterday about Hooper?
I don't know what you said about Hooper.
Ian, do you remember what I said about Hooper yesterday?
That he's the starting tight end?
He needs, that he needs to be out there and just put him out there to block.
I didn't say he's a starting tight end.
Yes, you did.
I said the opposite about Hooper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. You said he's the backup tight end.
He's the backup.
Yeah.
The Titans have played a possible 179 offensive snaps. Jeff Swaim has played 112. Austin Hooper has played 92. Jeff Swaim has played 63% of the Titans' possible offensive snaps, and Austin Hooper has played 51.
Well, that's not a massive difference.
3 to 51. Yeah, but is there any question who the starter and who the backup is?
No. And
At
it shouldn't be the case.
63 to 51.
That should not be the case, but it's not a massive difference.
Austin Hooper literally makes double. Jeff Swaim is $3.5 million a year, which is robbery.
Well, Jared.
And Hooper makes
He's the
$7
best
million
blocking
bucks.
tight end that we have.
63% to 51. That's like Ronald Reagan's re-election. 63 to 51. Like that's wild.
Well, it's
63%. Austin Hooper only plays half of the snaps on the team. Cody Hollister, he only plays 25% more than Cody Hollister.
That is pretty bad.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't think it's a mystery that Austin Hooper is not utilized very much in this offense. To put an actual numerical value to it is pretty shocking. But I don't think anyone would say, oh, yeah, Austin Hooper plays a lot. But my question is, why?
60.
Why does he play 51% of the time and Jeff Swaim plays significantly more than he does? Why?
Jeff Swaim, 63%. Austin Hooper, 51%.
I mean, Austin Hooper must just be an absolutely horrendous blocker.
Hey,
if that is the case.
Tune in for the NFL Game of the Week on Sunday on 94.9 The Fan. It's the Broncos and the Raiders. The NFL Game of the Week brought to you by Red Spirits and Wine in Bellevue and Superbook Sports, voted the #1 sportsbook in Vegas. Download their app today. Phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com. Chad is up next on this very topic, Hooper and Swaim. Go ahead, Chad.
Hey, I was just wondering, you got Austin Hooper and you got, all these people that are getting paid all this money for nothing when they can just bluff blocks. I mean, they're not even blocking anybody. I mean, they just
That's the most
walk right by 'em.
Chad, yes. Thank you for your call. That is the most frustrating part of the Jeff Swaim conundrum is that he's their best blocking tight end and that he absolutely stinks at blocking. Am I the only person on the planet who has noticed that he actually is just a terrible blocker?
I don't think that you are the only person on the planet. I think most people have realized that.
I mean, he's
most people
awful.
That's why everybody is asking, why is he playing so much?
63%.
Why is Jeff Swaim on the field?
And here's what's crazy. The snap counts, 45-40. This is Swaim to Hooper. 45-40 in the first game. Okay. 27-28. So Hooper actually played one more snap in the Buffalo game. 40-24 in the Raider game. Now, I will say this. They are trying to help out Dennis Daly and PT. You know, that is one thing that probably makes a little bit of sense. But again, 63% to 51. One guy's the starter, one guy's the backup. 63's the starter, 51's the backup. In this case, Swaim is the starter, Hooper's the backup. What do we have the text line?
One texter texts in and says, the only excuse for Hollister is if other wide receivers needed to come out for a legitimate reason, which sometimes happens. McMath injury really hurt depth on an already suspect roster.
You think that Racey McMath would have been put in the game in these running situations for 23% of the time instead of Cody Hollister?
No.
No. Cody Hollister was going to be on this team no matter what. I said it to somebody on the field at practice like the last week of training camp. I said, I think Hollister's going to make this team. And the person turned to me and goes, I don't. I'm like, I'll tell you, I think he's going to make this team. And then they cut him, and I was a little surprised that they cut him, and then immediately brought him back. They love him. They love him. And this is where I go on like the Downing thing. Again, I don't feel completely comfortable, though I understand it's part of the job, is to have the opinion and give the opinion. So I give it the best that I can with you all knowing that I'm not a football expert, but I watch the plays and then I try to evaluate what's fair and what's not fair. The one thing I will say that is 100% on the offensive coaching staff is when they put the bad players in the game. And Hollister and Swaim to a much lesser extent than Hollister and Carter. But Hollister and Carter and Swaim are the bad players. And I don't believe that in sports, teams win when they utilize bad players. I don't think that that's shocking, but I just don't think that a team wins when they put the bad players on the field, on the court, on the ice. And yet what happens is these coaches, they get dug into their corners of convincing themselves that, no, we need Cody Hollister out there, and then they play him 23% of the time.
I would also understand that if the bad players are really all you got, that they are the best shot to give you to win.
I don't have a problem with Dennis Daly.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I, bench Dennis Daly? No.
You need left tackle.
But this is ridiculous. I mean, the amount that Hollister plays. What's next?
Michael texts in and says, the Titans shut Devontae Adams down and Mac Hollins torched us. Can we shut Michael Pittman down? And if so, do the Colts have someone else that could hurt us?
Yes and no. I mean, look, Danny Amendola went bananas on the Titans last year in the season finale, so anybody can do anything. But no, I don't fear this patch. I don't fear the pass catching core for the Colts. I think their number one receiver is Pittman. I think their number two receiver is Nyheim Hines, and I think their number three receiver is Jelani Woods, a tight end, who I think's caught like 4 passes this year, but he caught 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs, which means they like throwing to him in the red zone, and that is it. No. What's next?
Another texter texts in and says the reason the Colts have run the division over the Titans is because they've had 5 Hall of Famers over that time, not just the quarterbacks.
No, it's the quarterback. It is, in my opinion, it is 100% the quarterback. Who are the Colts Hall of Famers over that stretch, right? So Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, and every time we talk about the Hall of Fame, how much do I complain about Edgerrin James?
Oh, every single time.
He has no business in the Hall of Fame, but neither here nor there. Edgerrin James, Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning, who else?
Reggie Wayne, see in yet?
I don't think Reggie's in yet.
Freeney, see in yet?
I don't think he's in yet. I don't think he's going to be in yet. Ever been in yet, ever. I don't think he's ever going to be in. Maybe they're talking about Polian and Tony Dungy. I mean, Tony Dungy was a loser coach. They could only get a team so far. Tony Dungy was the Ryan Tannehill of coaches in Tampa Bay. You know, he can get them only this far, but he can't get them over the hump. And so they fired him. And then they gave all those draft picks up to get John Gruden. And then he goes and wins the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. I mean, John Fox got to a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Gary Kubiak won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning.
It's the same thing as Bruce Arians.
It's Manning. Right. Nobody gives Arians credit for that Super Bowl, and they shouldn't. It was Manning. It was Manning. I mean, think about the other first overall pick quarterback that they had, the Colts organization, when Dad screwed it up before the son started screwing stuff up. And they traded away John Elway for a lineman because they were afraid that Elway was going to go play for the Yankees. And they did that. How many Hall of Famers came of that from John Elway? Terrell Davis is in the Hall of Fame. Shannon Sharp is in the Hall of Fame. John Lynch. Well, I think Lynch was actually in Denver after that, so I don't think he counts as that. I'm trying to think. Are those the only 2 Hall of Famers? I think there's another. Was Steve Atwater in the Hall of Fame? I
wouldn't
know.
be surprised.
But think about all the Hall of Famers John Elway had. That's how it works. It was Manning. The reason why the Titans have been dominated in the division by the Colts was because the Colts had the 2 best quarterbacks in the division over a 25-year period. And then both those quarterbacks retired, and they were stuck with Jacoby Brissett. And that's why the Titans have been dominant since then in this. It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. 615-737-1025. And I do have a thought on this, on the quarterback. Because Ryan Tannehill, and then I promise right back to your phones. Ryan Tannehill has done some serious damage, not just against the Colts, but also against Gus Bradley. We'll discuss. Stillman and Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Fireball whiskey goes down so smooth and it tastes so great. No better way to ignite the night than to do it with ice-cold Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. That's right. I love Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. It's the best way to celebrate the start of the weekend, to celebrate the start of hockey season. Of course, football is here. Everything is back in full swing, and as the weather gets a little cooler, it's time to light it up with a little Fireball. Ignite the night. Please do it responsibly and be 21 years or older to enjoy. That's Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey.
You love the game.
Tennessee touchdown! Middle Tennessee gets the score.
We live the game.
Just work on the little things every day.
They think the coaches are just coaches.
We are.
We got pass rushers.
Checkered flag in the air.
Awesome Game 7.
What a stop made by UC Sarah.
The Game. Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
As a roofer, every second counts. Late deliveries and incomplete orders cost me time and money. That's why I partner with Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. With Beacon, I know my supplies will be delivered on time and complete. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Go to BECN.com to get started building with Beacon. Beacon, always building.
Are you getting hit hard with higher costs and higher interest rates? Is your credit card rate going up every month? Hey, Willie Donick, how'd you like to wipe out those credit cards before the holidays? Call Loan Pronto. Your home equity can rescue you right now. Your home's value is still way up, and there's a ton of cash that you can get. Loan Pronto specializes in zero-cost cash-out home refis. Get tens of thousands in as little as 2 weeks. Pay off credit cards and consolidate everything into one super low payment. People who do this usually cut around $800 from their monthly budget. And even if your home mortgage rate goes up a little bit, it's offset by your credit card rate going to zero. When rates come back down, Loan Pronto will refinance you again for free. Call Loan Pronto. Do it now. You can even skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
What's up, everyone? It's me, Michelle Knezovic, and I want to know if you can beat Vegas this football season. Superbook Sports gives you the chance every week to go head-to-head with the best odds makers in Las Vegas. No fancy computer algorithms, just the best team of odds makers in the business behind the counter at Superbook in Las Vegas. Listen, I like the Tennessee Titans plus 305 to win the division. I still think that they have a chance to take the AFC South. Plus, Superbook features some of the best odds boosts and promos bets anywhere. So download the Superbook Sports app or visit superbook.com. Start your battle against Vegas right now. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
Hey, it's Big Joe on the go. Look, I get it. Nobody likes being in a car accident, but when that happens, make it easy on yourself and call Apple Collision Centers so you don't have to stress. They're locally owned with 3 convenient locations in O'Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin. Apple Collision Centers managers combined for 60-plus years experience, and they only recommend original equipment parts on your vehicle. So, if you're in need of a repair today or down the road, just head over to Apple Collision Centers. Stan and his team will take great care of you. Online, applecollisioncenters.com.
Football is back, and so are the deals at Electronic Express. Get tailgate ready with great deals on all of your favorite brands like Whirlpool, HP, Sony, iRobot, and more. Electronic Express has huge savings in every department: computers, appliances, 4K TVs, smart home, furniture, mattresses, and more. Save up to 40% with up to 36 months free financing. Shop in-store or online at electronicexpress.com and get free express delivery on most items. Electronic Express. We make football season happen.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne,
Robbie and Rex Road, Chase, Willie, and D-Mace.
Stillman and Company, Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3.
Terang, it's a high fly ball. We got pass rushes. Awesome Game 7.
Checkered flag in the air.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Where you have a voice.
We're one play away from an injury.
He knows this. He's a study of the game.
And we have strong opinions.
He's been awful. I don't think they were trying, and that's why I feel the way I feel.
This is Stillman and Company with Jared Stillman and Caroline Fenton. Presented by TriStar Moving on Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Stillman & Company is delivered by TriStar Moving, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Thanks to the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, live from the Hillside Medical Game Studios at Bridgestone Arena. Thanks to our friends, Predators Game Day is brought to you by Social Furniture. Shop today to get rewarded with social cash back. Buy a $1,000, get $125 cash back on your Social Furniture gift card. Shop local, shop social in West Nashville. And you know what? Since the Predators are playing in less than an hour, their final exhibition game in America before they travel to Bern, and pregame is in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, I'm in a good mood. Let's give something away.
Woohoo!
Be caller 5 right now at 615-737-1025, and you will be going to see Earth, Wind, and Fire at the First Bank Amphitheater on Wednesday, October 5th. Good luck to you there. See, Santa, when you least expect it. It is a
Santa
Fireball Hot
Stillman.
Take Friday. I do want to get to this, though, which is all this, the matchup stuff and the Titans versus the Colts. And I feel like I have done nothing today but badmouth Indianapolis, badmouth the Colts, and not in like a fanboy way, right? Like not like a Indianapolis thinks they're so cool, but their city's so boring and stinks. Because honestly, other than the weather, I kind of like Indianapolis.
Been to Indianapolis once.
But I'm not doing that. I just don't think they're a great team. And as I dive further into this Titans-Colts matchup, the more honestly, I like the Titans. And I'm going to give you another little nugget here. Gus Bradley is the defensive coordinator of the Colts. So Matt Eberflus, who played that kind of soft shell zone, he was hired by Josh McDaniels, who then never came to be the head coach, and they kept him. Matt Eberflus goes to the Bears. They bring in Gus Bradley to be the defensive coordinator, who was on John Gruden's staff when they all got fired there. And so Gus Bradley it's still that soft zone, Seattle, let Cam Chancellor make a bunch of plays defense without Cam Chancellor. And so Gus Bradley was, I believe, the defensive coordinator of the first Seattle Super Bowl team, but then left before the second Seattle Super Bowl and was the head coach of Jacksonville. Ryan Tannehill against Gus Bradley is 2-1. The one game they lost was in 2015. The start of the season was awful for the Dolphins. They fired Joe Philbin, their coach. They lost that game to Jacksonville 23-20. Tannehill was 30 of 44 for 359, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. So without having watched the game, it sounds like Ryan Tannehill played pretty well, and everybody else stunk it up.
He had himself a day.
So against Gus Bradley, the defensive coordinator for the Colts, who's getting no pass rush right now, Ryan Tannehill is 2-1. He won his first game against Jacksonville's defense 27-16 in 2014. They won that game. He was 16 of 29, 196, 1 pick and interception. And in Ryan Tannehill's first ever start as a member of the Titans against the Chargers in 2019, Gus Bradley was the defensive coordinator. The Titans won that game 29-23. They won that game at the very, very end. Tannehill was 23 of 29, 312, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So Ryan Tannehill is 3-1 against 2-1 against Gus Bradley in his career. Since becoming the starting quarterback of the Titans, Ryan Tannehill is 3-1 against the Indianapolis Colts. And the one loss wasn't Tannehill's fault. A.J. Brown dropped a touchdown. Trevor Daniel, who was inserted as the punter that week, shanked a kick that Indianapolis scored on and then blocked a kick in the end zone that Indianapolis scored on. Steven Gostkowski, I love him, missed a field goal. Tannehill was not the problem that day. Now, Tannehill was awful, in my opinion, in the second Indianapolis game last year where I thought he was trying to give the game to the Colts and they didn't take it. But 3-1 versus Indy, 2-1 versus Gus Bradley. The larger dig I do about these teams, the larger dive I think about this game, the more I just don't think very much of the Colts. And I don't think I felt this strongly about the Titans in any game this season, and that includes the Giants, because I really felt like if the Titans were going to lose to the Giants, it was going to be just by them. Well, what did I say? I said the only way they can lose to the Giants is if they think they can't lose to the Giants. And what happened?
Exactly what
happened at halftime?
At halftime, they didn't think they could lose to the Giants. And, if everything goes the Titans' way, Tannehill plays his type of ball, they take care of the football, they put pressure on Matt Ryan, it seems like Titans should win. But there's always that element with the Titans of, I don't know if they're going to come out there and just absolutely poop the bed.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to go out there and just commit dumb penalties, don't take care of the football, just do something dumb.
See,
I never count that out with this team.
I am not worried about the Colts beating the Titans.
I'm worried about the Titans beating the Titans.
I'm worried about the Titans beating the Titans. Dead on. What do we have in the text line? 615-737-1025.
Canadian Titan texts in. Says the goal is to stop Jonathan Taylor on Sunday, but the Titans have been awful at stopping the run this season. Do you believe they're just bad at it and are going to get gassed this week, or has the poor run stopping been poor execution up to this point?
So I don't think the Titans have a bad run defense. I think the Titans quit at halftime of the Giants game, and that's why Saquon Barkley went nuts. I don't think the Titans did it feel like Josh Jacobs was running the ball at will against the Titans last Sunday?
No.
I didn't feel like they were in the backfield on every play, but I don't think they were trying to do that.
And the biggest chunk of Saquon Barkley's day came in that second half when the Titans already kicked their feet up.
Oh, he did nothing in the first half.
No.
So I'm not worried about the run defense. See, one thing that I think we all have to kind of keep in mind is a lot of these early season stats. The Titans are 23rd in the league, and they're incredibly skewed this early because of little individual mitigating factors. Like, one thing you're going to hear is that the Colts are third in the league or number one in the league or something in rush defense this year. Mm-hmm. Well, they've also been run on the third least amount in the NFL. And not only that, who's the running back for the Chiefs?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And he's not even a running back. He's a pass-catching back. Their running back there is some guy named McKinnon.
Jarek McKinnon? You don't remember him?
They don't ever run the ball. Like that, Kansas City.
Why would you run the ball when Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback?
Oh, I'd run the ball. Even the good passing teams run the ball. I think Fournette right now is leading the league in touches. But I hear you. But they don't run the ball. So when people tell you that Indianapolis has a great run defense, they don't run. People don't run on them. Well, the Titans are going to try to run on them. So they probably, we'll see if they can. But I don't think the Titans have a bad run defense. What's next?
One texter texts in and says, aren't the numbers a little bit skewed for Matt Ryan? Didn't he get taken out in the third quarter against Buffalo?
You mean for Ryan Tannehill? Yes, the pass
Ryan
attempts
Tannehill.
and those
Whenever
totals?
I see Ryan, my first thought is to go Matt Ryan this week at least.
So Matt Ryan, in his the least amount of passes he threw this year were 30, and that was against Jacksonville. And so he threw 50 against the Texans.
It's wild.
And he threw 37 against the Chiefs. So he actually threw the least amount in the game that he got taken out of. I don't think the Titans would have, even if Tannehill had stayed in that game, I don't think the Titans would have been throwing it. I think they honestly would have been running it and then punting. Just at that point,
it was so far
it was
gone.
A get the game over with kind of game.
They weren't going to throw their way back into that
So
game.
even if Tannehill had played more, I don't think they would have thrown more. And I think, 26 passes, 27 passes per game? That is what they are going to throw. They are not going to throw it 40 times on Sunday. They're going to throw it 27 times. And they're willing to lose by throwing it that many times. What's next?
Ryan in Nashville texts in and says the Colts know they can't pass protect, so they'll probably run more than pass. I'm concerned about the Titans' run defense giving Cunningham and Hooker out.
Okay, so I'm not worried about Cunningham or Hooker being out, though I would like to have Hooker because I think he's a really, 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 really good player.
He's a good player.
And Andrew Adams is probably going to be starting at safety for the Titans on Sunday, and most of you don't know who that is. And to be completely fair with you all.
Did you know who that was?
I did not know who that was until about 3 hours ago. But he does have 35 starts over 7 years. He started in Tampa Bay. He had 3 starts last year for the Buccaneers. They signed him off the Steelers practice squad. I think Andrew Adams is probably going to start at safety for the Titans on Sunday. I'm not worried about Cunningham because I think he's not all that good or meaningful. But what bothers me is as far as like the Titans run defense or the only thing that bothers me is that Vrabel is going to make such a commitment on stopping Jonathan Taylor that I don't think they're going to let Jonathan Taylor get going. It does worry me that the beat-up secondary is probably going to be man across. So, Fulton is going to start at one spot. McCreary will be on the field on every play. Mm-hmm. But he may move inside to the nickel or, stay outside if there's only 2 corners on the field. The third corner, against the Raiders, Terrence Mitchell played 76% of the defensive snaps. Lonnie Johnson played 10% of the defensive snaps. Josh Kalu played 8 total snaps at corner. And Caleb Farley played 1 snap. So, against this team, Fulton, McCreary, yes, and I think we feel fine with that against Pittman and Pierce. But then it's probably Mitchell who's on the field when they put a third receiver, Doolin, into the game. But that doesn't mean that they won't try to put Michael Pittman outside on Mitchell. And then I wonder if the Titans are going to be okay with that or if the Titans are going to be – the Titans almost never do this. If Vrabel's going to be like, no, Christian Fulton, you go with Pittman. Well, you go with Pittman. I don't know. But that's the only thing I worry about.
That's why they have to get to the quarterback, though.
I don't think they will.
You get to the quarterback, and that's not an issue.
I think they will. I think those inside DTs will get there, and they'll do what the old Titans used to do, which is they'll just stop the run on the way to hitting the quarterback. Because Autry, Simmons, Dupree are all going to play, and I love all these DeMarcus Walkers that they play on the defensive line. I like those guys. Boy, I tell you, it's been way too positive of a show today.
You feel weird.
It does not feel. The more I dug into it, the more I just don't think very much.
But we can never ignore that X factor.
Let's get to 6-pack picks. We'll do that coming up next because Pred's pregame is right on our heels, so we will do that coming up next here on the program. Edley's, those are my guys. That is my barbecue spot, Edley's Barbecue. I love them. And a lot of you all have got high school tailgating, college tailgating, also pro tailgating. Let Edley's handle it. Hand off the tailgating prep to Edley's Barbecue. Get your smoked wings, which I actually had the other night because I love Edley's and I love Edley's smoked wings. Get your smoked wings in easy 25 and 50 count platters. Easily take smoked pulled pork, brisket, turkey, and scratch-made sides family style. Edley's is perfect for game day, home or at the stadium. So if you just want to have it at your house, you got all the people coming over, Edley's. I love Edley's. Had Edley's the other night. We've catered Edley's for events that we've had. Call your neighborhood Edley's or order online at edleysbbq.com. Again, those are my friends at Edley's. I love them. That's edleysbbq.com.
The Sports Talk doesn't end on Friday. Join Michelle Knezovic every Saturday morning at 9.
I've got my extra large coffee.
As she talks about the big stories of the week.
Predators news, the Tennessee Titans.
And looks ahead to the weekend.
Oh, I'm so excited.
On Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
At the law office of Amanda J. Gentry, we are committed to defending your rights. Being arrested doesn't have to be the worst day of your life. Being served with custody paperwork doesn't have to be the worst day of your life. It may feel that way, but if you have Amanda J. Gentry representing you, you can feel confident that you're going to have the best quality representation in all of Middle Tennessee. Amanda J. Gentry goes wherever justice demands. 615-604-6263. AmandaJGentry.com.
Bar Lines in the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Hey Nashville, Chef Phillip at Bar Lines at the Omni Hotel. Come try some of our new menu items like the Nashville Hot Fish and Chips, Nathan's Hot Dog Burn Ends, or the Nashville Chicken Jam Band. Go Preds.
Attending an event downtown? Dine at Bar Lines in the Omni Nashville Hotel.
So many people here are getting real lasting joint pain relief from QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
The work that QC Kinetics did paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my laugh back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 615-249-4024. That's 615-249-4024. 615-249-4024.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Feliciano lines a base hit to left, and the Sounds win.
Your home for Hit City is 94.9 The Fan.
Your Nashville Sounds are back in action Saturday night in Las Vegas against the Durham Bulls for the International League Championship. Pre-game at 7:50.
On your home for Sounds baseball, 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app. You're listening to Stillman and Company.
Sounds like this has been a game-changing day for all of us.
Presented by TriStar Moving on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app.
Stillman and Company here at Bridgestone Arena. Preds pregame coming up right after us. Hey, on Sunday, be sure to tune in for the pregame show live from Twin Peaks in Cool Springs. Join me, Chris Sanders, Derek Mason, 9:30 to 11:30 for the Titans and the Colts. The pregame show is brought to you by TriStar Moving, Parman Tractor and Equipment, Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, Superbook Sports, and Ounce of Hope Cannabis Company. Let's get right into six-pack picks. Ian, how did we do last week?
Okay, last week, Jared with a weekly record of 2-4.
Oof.
Caroline with a weekly record of 4-2.
All right.
So Jared for the season, 12-15. Caroline, 11-16.
Ooh, I'm moving up.
Let's get right to it. There we go.
Sorry about that. Okay. We will start 11 a.m. ESPN. Kentucky at Ole Miss. Little college action to begin. Over under 54.5. We have Ole Miss minus 6.5.
Who goes first?
I'll go first. I'm going to take Kentucky to cover. Ole Miss has not played anyone so far this season. They've played it close with Tulsa. Kentucky's getting Chris Rodriguez back, who rushed for almost 1,400 yards last year. I think that's really going to bolster up this Kentucky offense. I think they can keep it close. Give me Kentucky to cover.
I'll take Kentucky, too. I think Kentucky's a better team, and I think Kentucky actually plays defense. So I'll take Kentucky.
Okay, the 2:30 CBS game this week, you can also hear on 102.5 The Game. Alabama, Arkansas, over under 61. Bama, minus 17.
I'll take Alabama. I think that Arkansas, they really showed me that they are not ready for the big boy camp last week. You know, they started off so hot against A&M, and then it was just nothing, and they missed the field goal. I think Alabama blows them out. I'll take Alabama.
I'm going to take Arkansas to cover. I think Alabama wins because Arkansas has not one of the worst pass defenses in the SEC, one of the worst pass defenses in college football. But fun fact, all but one of Bryce Young's game on the road have come within a field goal. So I'm going to take Arkansas to cover, but Alabama to win.
Okay, we switch gears to the NFL. Our first game this week will be noon, CBS. Fun game here. Bills at the Ravens. Over under pretty high, 51. Buffalo -3.
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to take the Bills. I think they're going to be angry after that loss last week to Miami. I think they're going to want to prove something. This is the battle of the MVPs, and I think that Buffalo comes out by about a touchdown.
I think Lamar's going to take over the game. I don't know why. I'll take Baltimore. What a treat of a game.
Fun game, 7:20, Sunday Night Football, NBC, Chiefs at Bucks, Mahomes, Brady, over-under 45.5, even pick 'em.
I am going to go with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's at home. Tampa Bay has the better defense. And I really, when I watch the tape of the Colts and the Chiefs, I really don't like these Chief receivers. I don't think Brady's going to lose 2 in a row, especially after the way he cost his team last Sunday. I'll take Tampa Bay.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think they are so embarrassed about what they did against Indianapolis last week, and I think they're going to turn things around. And just with the injuries for Tampa Bay, I don't know who Tom Brady's going to throw to. They do have a great defense, but I am going to take the Chiefs to win this one.
Julio, by the way, is questionable.
Classic. Of course he is.
Game time decision, I'm sure.
Sorry, I've been hurt.
Okay.
So is Clowney, by the way. He's questionable for his game, too.
Yes.
Marcus.
Play the hits.
Marcus,
Play the hits.
watch out. Clowney on the way, Marcus. Okay. 7:15, Monday Night Football, ESPN. The divisional game, Rams at the 49ers. Jimmy G taking over there. Over under 42.5. San Francisco, though, -1.5.
I'm going to take the Rams. There's always a factor when Jimmy G's quarterbacking that he's just going to do something stupid. So I'm going to count on that, and I'll take the Rams.
Jimmy sucks. I'll take the Rams. No. I'll take San Francisco, even though Jimmy sucks, because Shanahan, other than that NFC title game that Jimmy threw away, Shanahan's got a way of beating McVay, so I guess he'll do it again. It's like the Saints versus Brady in the regular season compared to the postseason. So I'm going to go ahead and take San Francisco, but Jimmy does stink.
Okay, that takes us to our final game. Titans.
I can't believe that the Titans keep playing these AFC games on Fox.
On Fox. So another noon, Fox, Titans at Colts. Over under, pretty low as we would expect, 43. Colts, -3.5.
I'm going to take the Titans. I think there's a very easy path to victory for the Titans. It's stop the run, put pressure on Matt Ryan, and just don't let the offense do anything to screw it up. Let the defense win the game. Don't let the offense lose it for you. And I think the Titans will be fine, so I take the Titans to cover and win.
I think the Titans are better at coach. I think the Titans are better at quarterback. I think the Titans are better in philosophy to use their running back than the Colts are. I think the Titans are better at receiver. I think the Titans are better at tight end. I think the Titans are better on the defensive line. I think the Titans are better even right now in the secondary. I think the Titans, again, I don't think the Colts are a very good football team. I don't think the Colts will be able to protect Matt Ryan. I don't think that the Titans will let Jonathan Taylor run. And yet I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, I'm going to take the Titans. I'll take them 16-13, but it's going to be a seat-of-your-pants game that it shouldn't be because Indy's not a good football team, but it will be.
Also, hammer the under.
16-13. That's it for us. We're out of here. The pregame show, 9:30 on Sunday. We will see you then. Chase McCabe is taking over next live here from Bridgestone Arena for the Predators pregame show. Stillman and Company, that's the way, and that's the way it is.